There's a war happening right now, thousands of miles away from Nigeria, between America, Israel and Iran. You are not a soldier. You are not a diplomat. You have nothing to do with that war. But last week, fuel hit 995 per litre at the Dangote Refinery. Transport fares in Lagos jumped 40 to 60% in 7 days.
I hear for news this morning say per litre 1,002. Why? If you increase petrol, house you go increase, food you go increase. Everything they use now, everything they increase, everything don't tire everybody.
A basket of tomatoes that cost about 45,000 naira in February is now 70,000 naira in some markets. That's what you are not fighting. It's already in your pockets and it is just getting started. Stay with me. Let me break this down simply because this story has a lot of moving parts, but once you understand it, it makes total sense. There is a place called the Strait of Hormuz. It is a narrow stretch of water in the Middle East. Think of it like a doorway, and through that one doorway, 20 million barrels of oil pass every single day. That's roughly 20% of the entire world's oil supply. 1/5 of everything the world uses daily goes through that one narrow doorway. Now, Iran controls access to that doorway. And since the US and Israel struck Iranian targets on February 28, 2026, Iran has been blocking and attacking ships trying to pass through. So the world's oil supply just got squeezed badly. And when oil supply goes down, prices go up. Simple as that. Brent crude, which is the global benchmark for oil pricing, jumped from $67 per barrel to nearly $120 per barrel in just 10 days. That's almost double in 10 days. Now, here's the honest question every Nigerian is asking, and it is a fair question.
What concerns Iran and Nigeria? We are very different from, are we white people? We are Africans. Iranians are white people. So nothing concerns Nigerians with Iran. You understand? So I think anybody that injecting that it is because of the Iran war and America or whatever that is causing fuel to high is an irrelevant issue to that person now. He just want to use it to rob people.
Nigeria is an oil producing country. We earned over 55 trillion naira from crude oil sales in 2025 alone. So why are we feeling the pain of a war we have nothing to do with? Let me explain this clearly. Because this is the part that will make you either laugh or cry. Nigeria produces crude oil, but for years, decades actually, we could not refine most of it ourselves. So what did we do? We exported our crude oil to other countries. They refined it into petrol and diesel. And when we imported it back and sold it to Nigerians, think about how that works. It is like growing tomatoes in your farm, sending them to your neighbor to make tomato paste, and then buying the paste back from your neighbor at his price. So when global oil prices go up because of this war, the refined fuel we are importing comes back to us at a higher price, and we have no choice but to pay it.
That spoiled my budget though, because set coming together is 2,200, but now I'm going to be spending like 2,800 or 3,000, I think so. Even if they say they want to reduce the fuel price now, people, let me say the conductor and the driver, they'll still be carrying the same amount. So I just say maybe they should create more buses for everybody.
Now here's the Dangote's angle. The Dangote Refinery, which many Nigerians hope would have solved this problem, reached its full capacity of 650,000 barrels per day in March 2026. And they have promised to prioritize the Nigerian market. But even Dangote is not immune. They still buy crude oil at international market prices. And with global prices nearly doubling, their cost went up too, which is why they increased their petrol price to 995 naira per litre on March 8, 2026. And here's another problem nobody is talking about enough. Dangote needs about 13 crude oil cargoes from NNPC every month to run at full capacity. Right now, they are only getting about 5. Imagine, 5 out of 13. So they still have to source some crude internationally at the higher war prices. If this is making things clearer for you, share this video, post it on your WhatsApp status, drop it in a group chat, because a lot of Nigerians are feeling this pain right now without understanding where it is coming from. Now let me bring this home, because all those numbers mean nothing until you feel them. Transport fares in Lagos, routes like Ikorodu to CMS or Ajah to Victoria Island Fares jumped 40 to 60% in just 1 week. If you were paying 500 naira for a drop last month, you are now paying 700 naira to 800 naira for the same drop. In Port Harcourt, intra-city taxi drops moved from 800 naira to 1,500 naira in 7 days. 7 days! Now think about the person who earns 50,000 naira a month. Before this war, they were already struggling with fuel at 839 naira. Now transport alone is eating deeper into that salary. And then there is food. Nigeria moves food from the north to the south by truck. Trucks rock on diesel. Diesel prices are rising alongside petrol. So the cost of moving a bag of rice from Benue to Lagos has gone up. And the trader passes the cost directly to you at the market. Yes, you the viewer. Imagine a bag of rice and beans in markets like My 12 Lagos and Bodija Ibadan up 15 to 20% in 1 week. Tomatoes, a basket that was 45,000 naira in February, now eating 70,000 naira in some southern markets. And bread, the Bakers Association warned this week that bread prices may rise by 25% because it costs more to power the ovens and more to transport the flour. This is what economists are calling a double whammy. You pay more to get to work, and you pay more for the food you eat when you get home. Now, here's the part that should concern every Nigerian, because what we are seeing right now might just be the beginning. PETROAN, the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, warned on March 9, 2026 that if this war continues, petrol could surge toward 2,000 naira per litre. Diesel could approach 3,000 naira per litre. Let that sit for a second. 2,000 naira per litre of petrol. Independent petroleum marketers are saying that once global crude crosses $100 per barrel consistently, which it already has, retail prices in Nigeria will likely settle between 1,100 naira and 1,300 naira per litre in the coming days. And economists at Financial Derivatives Company and KPMG Nigeria are warning something even more serious. Nigeria's inflation has been cooling down for 11 straight months. That's progress. It is now projected to reverse. Inflation could spike back toward 35 to 38% by the end of this quarter. In plain terms, the progress the government was pointing to as a proof reforms were working could be wiped out by a war Nigeria had absolutely nothing to do with. Now, let me be fair here, because there are two sides to this. The Dangote Refinery has actually done something important. They absorbed about 20% of the cost increase themselves instead of passing all of it to Nigerians. That is genuinely significant. Before Dangote, Nigeria had no refinery capable of doing that. Every price shock went straight to the consumer with no cushion. And the government is saying the same thing, that the Dangote Refinery is Nigeria's shield against the full impact of this war. That without it, prices would already be far worse. That argument is not wrong, but the honest reality is this: even with Dangote running at full capacity, even with the government doing everything right, a global oil price shock of this size cannot be fully absorbed. Ordinary Nigerians will feel it. They already are. So here's what I want you to think about. Nigerian earns billions from selling crude oil, but we are still at the mercy of global prices when it comes to buying back refined fuel. That is the fundamental problem that has never been fully resolved, and the war on the other side of the world just exposed it again. What do you think? Is the Dangote Refinery enough to protect Nigerians from this kind of shock? Or is the system still broken at the roots? Please, before you go, I genuinely want to know what you think. Drop your honest opinion in the comments. If this breakdown helped you understand what is happening, make sure you hit the like button right now. Subscribe if you haven't, and turn on the notifications so you never miss any updates. And before you go, please do well to share this particular video. Post it on your status. Drop it on your group chat. Let's keep everyone informed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.